Patrick CC. Two rappers confess the same crime. Only one is guilty. Hey man, let's see what he cooked up.
Two extremely famous rappers admit to committing the same horrible crime at the height of their popularity. Rick Ross.
YouTube, this is educational purposes only. Thank you.
His admission was in 2013, and Cardi B 6 years later in 2019. Rick Ross received an incredible amount of backlash. Tens of thousands of petitions signed and hundreds of people standing outside of the Reebok headquarters demanding them to terminate their endorsement deal with the rapper. Cardi B, on the other hand, received tons of support from her fans in the media, breaking down all of the nuances of her crime and why it was okay. Today we are going to take a look at both of these situations and examine exactly why Cardi B was perceived as a victim and Rick Ross was perceived as guilty in the court of public opinion. Starting with Rick Ross. In March of 2013, a rapper by the name of Rocco released a remix of his song UOENO alongside
You ain't even know it. Oh my god, I know the lyrics. I know the lyrics coming in from Rick Ross.
Future and Rick Ross. UOENO is not an acronym but rather a slurred slang term representing a phrase, you don't even know it. At the 2-minute and 10-second mark in the song, Rick Ross says, "Put my all in her champagne, she ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that, she ain't even know it." Listeners were shocked to hear Rick Ross directly confess to drugging a woman and then insinuating that they had sex after. It's hard to interpret this bar as anything other than a confession. At first, this was just a crazy lyric that made you and your buddies look at each other in disbelief, but the song was getting more and more popular, making the rounds on social media and in the clubs. As more people were exposed to the specificity and boastfulness of Rick Ross's delivery, they felt like they had to speak out. First, a petition calling for Rick Ross to, quote, publicly apologize for glorifying /R-wording a woman was posted to change.org. The organizer wrote, "This should be investigated further and he should be prosecuted." With only 1,294 signatures, it didn't have a large enough impact. Then, Rosa Clemente, who was the 2008 vice presidential candidate of the Green Party, posted a YouTube video criticizing the rapper.
This is disgusting to say the least. This lyric is obviously promoting not just date but and culture and violence against women. We live in a society that by the time African American women and Latina women are 18, almost half of them, 44%, have been abused.
From there, more media personalities
That's fucking crazy, bro. That is so crazy to think about. She said 48%?
use their platform to encourage people to speak out against Ross.
Sex without consent
is what you should know.
Sex without consent is rape. That's what we know.
Rick Ross, it's a shame that you don't know.
The controversy spread like wildfire. Every major news outlet started to chime.
Alright. I'm not saying this to defend him. I'm not saying this to brush it off. None of that. But if people don't understand already, artists lie in their lyrics. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason it is, I don't know. Maybe to make the bar sound, not to say that this sounds good, because it doesn't. It sounds stupid. Man self-snitching on himself, you know what I'm saying? But people tend to drop lyrics that it could be fake, it could be real. People drop it because it sounds good. That didn't sound good, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just being open-minded to the fact of, like, was it a lie? Just a question. Was it a lie? Is it a lie? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it was. I'm not saying it is. Okay? I'm just saying people lie in their lyrics.
In. When Ross responded to the controversy, he did more harm than good. On the New Orleans radio station Q93.3 FM, he said, "I want to make sure this is clear. That woman is the most precious gift known to man. You understand? There was a misunderstanding with a lyric, a misinterpretation. The term rape wasn't used. I would never use the term rape in my records. As far as my camp, hip-hop don't condone that. The streets don't condone that. Nobody condones that. So I just wanted to reach out to all the queens that's on my timeline, all the sexy ladies, the beautiful ladies that had been reaching out to me with the misunderstanding. We don't condone rape and I'm not with that." Ross claiming that this lyric was all a misunderstanding and then shouting out the sexy ladies just fueled even more outrage.
That he literally didn't say nothing. He was just chatting right there.
Hip-hop outlets began speaking out against him.
Guys, Rick Ross has come to a crossroads. He is a great artist, good dude,
put me on his mixtape. I love the guy, but he's got to step up right now and do the right thing. And that right thing is a thorough and sincere apology about the lines that made people think he was endorsing date.
Ross's peers, such as Talib Kweli, began speaking out against him.
I don't care if Rick Ross is 40 years old. He's a misguided 40-year-old person. When we embraced him, we have to embrace him with love. Everything everyone's saying about that line is correct. Rick Ross condoned in that song, and he shouldn't, and he should apologize. And his apology that he offered was unacceptable.
So he apologized again. On April 4th, 2013, he tweeted, "I don't condone rape. Apologies for the hashtag lyric interpreted as hashtag boss." This was his second attempt at an apology, but still sticking to his belief that you, the listener, misconstrued his words, and he didn't say anything.
Bro, even if it was a misunderstanding or whatever, bro, just apologize. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard for him to apologize off rip, whether he believes his lyrics ain't condoning that or not. You know what I'm saying? Just apologize, bro.
Wrong, whereas many argue that there is no other way to look at this lyric, like Adam Howard from The Griot, who said, "There's no way to argue that he's not describing rape." Most other hip-hop songs describing sexual contact, while still often misogynistic, at least leave room for a listener to believe that women are consenting parties. But in this case, listening to a man gleefully rhyme about someone and having with her while she's unconscious feels like an alarmingly pointed threat. Critics were tired of Rick Ross's inability to accept responsibility, especially the National Organization for Women in New York City, who rallied in hundreds outside of the Reebok headquarters in New York, asking them to disband their partnership with Rick Ross.
It is a hate crime to be out there making fun of, making light of and raping women, something that happens all too often in our culture.
These are actually 72,000 petitions signed by our members all over the country, and there are also comments from people about why they feel like Reebok needs to drop Rick Ross.
Rick Ross is a disgrace to humanity. This guy's a joke. How do you say, you know, I slipped her Molly, went home and enjoyed that, and she didn't even know, and then say you didn't mean to condone? He knew exactly what he's saying. The fact of the matter is he's just a coward, and now he's trying.
Y'all gonna notice a lot of mutes, bro, just in case.
To avoid dealing with it.
Just a few days after the protest, Rick Ross was officially dropped from his multi-million-dollar endorsement deal. The company made a statement. While we do not believe that Rick Ross condones sexual assault, we are very disappointed he has yet to display an understanding of the seriousness of the issue or an appropriate level of remorse. They continued, at this time, it is in everyone's best interest for Reebok to end its partnership with Mr. Ross.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Like, this song, it was a bop when it dropped. It was going viral. I knew what he said in the lyrics, right? But I didn't know this was a thing for real, bro. All this backlash, him losing his Reebok deal. I didn't know this was happening. You know what I'm saying?
I guess Ross was hoping the outrage would eventually die out, because it was after Reebok dropped him that he finally made a formal apology. My choice of words was not only offensive, it does not reflect my true heart, and for this, I apologize. To every woman that has felt the sting of abuse, I apologize. I recognize that as an artist I have a voice, and with that, the power of influence. To the young men who listen to my music, please know that using a substance to rob a woman of her right to make a choice is not only a crime, it's wrong, and I do not encourage it. Now, rappers have been spitting extremely controversial lyrics for
yeah, bro, he's not the only one to say some crazy shit. Truth or lie. It's just, they be bugging for real.
Decades. In a 2001 song called Fight Music by D12, rapper Bazaar said, "I hate you, I'll take your drawers down and you," while Dr. Dre videotapes you, which is extremely blatant and descriptive. Eminem has a laundry list of descriptive admissions.
I was just gonna say, bro, Eminem, he got a lot of things.
Of crimes. I mean, at this point, what rapper hasn't
that boy got that clean? Ooh, that boy fresh.
Glorified or admitted to some heinous crime. Many people argue that none of these lyrics can be taken seriously because they are made up to represent a character or persona that doesn't represent the reality of the rapper.
He raps about selling, trafficking, being a boss, violence. That's what his brand is about. That's what he raps about.
Rick Ross is quite literally a stolen name from a real 1980s kingpin Ricky Donald Ross, aka Freeway Rick. The rapper Rick Ross's entire persona is fake, but based on a real criminal. Many people use the argument that if music lyrics should be taken seriously, then why is there no outrage when rappers rap about robbing, shooting, and murdering people? But there is a very specific reason why this particular line from Rick Ross garnered so much backlash, and that's due to a shifting cultural perception on these types of crimes after 2 Ohio teens raped a girl and basically got off with a slap on the wrist. On March 17th, 2013, just 1 week before Ross's lyric blew up, 2 teens in Steubenville, Ohio were found guilty of rape. But the way these teens had absolutely zero empathy or regard for the victim was a shocking wake-up call for the realities of these horrible crimes. The 2 teens were...
Bro, this is not fucking cool, bro. Never was, never will be cool. Shit's corny as fuck.
Promising football players who were beloved by the small Ohio town. At a party, a 16-year-old girl drank more than she could handle, leading to her blacking out multiple times, only waking up to vomit. The defendants eventually brought her into the back of a Volkswagen, where Trent May, quote, proceeded to flash the girl's and her with his fingers, while another football player videotaped it on his phone. Malik Richmond, the other defendant, took his turn the girl with his fingers. Although there was no any sexual conduct where the person is unable to give consent in the state of Ohio does constitute as rape. Then, compromising and explicit photos of the girl were shared on the internet, and some of the witnesses mocked her even more on Twitter. The police were notified about the crime a couple days later. They were given a flash drive of evidence, including the post shared on social media, but the police said the case was challenging, partly because too much time had passed since the suspected rape. All of the local press about the situation appeared to...
Bro. This shit happens too often, bro. This shit is happening as we speak, unfortunately. Alright? And it's not only women going through this, it's men going through this as well. You know what I'm saying? Would it have been a big deal if it was a guy? Who fucking knows? Probably not. Because when it's a guy, it ain't a big deal. 9 times out of 10. When it's a woman, yeah. All hell broke loose. Hence the 2 rappers right here that he's going to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Insane.
To be biased towards the boys, discussing their football dreams and how important football is to the community.
Lots of kids in town grow up hoping, wishing one day they could play for Big Red football. Were you one of those kids?
Yes, I was.
And then there's Trent. His father, Brian, a football coach, says there's football in his son's DNA.
One of his dreams since he was a kid was to play quarterback for Steubenville.
As one of Steubenville's football coaches told the New York Times, quote, "The rape was just an excuse, I think. What else are you going to tell your parents when you come home drunk like that after a night like that? She had to make up something. Now people are trying to blow up our football program because of it." Just like the Rick Ross outrage slowly grew bigger, this story took on a life of its own as larger publications started to write about it. The anonymous hacker group leaked personal information of 50,000 Ohio residents that they believed were helping obstruct the investigation. They also leaked a video that was taking place that night, when a small group of friends, including the defendants, videotaped themselves bragging and laughing about the crime.
She's dead because there's a picture on her, laying in the and she wasn't moving. There's usually a reaction to that.
The boys proceeded to laugh and make fun of the girl.
It's just so corny, bro. Everybody in that room laughing, hearing corny. Corny. You know what wouldn't have been corny? Somebody 2-piecing this man in his face, boy.
Camera for 12 minutes straight.
Cool, bro.
This video went extremely viral, with people all around the world demanding justice for the victim. Many people referred back to the abhorrent mentality of these boys when criticizing Rick Ross's lyrics, whereas others felt like blaming a rapper's lyrics was merely a cop-out, and outraged people should be pointing fingers at parents. Then Anonymous organized the #OccupySteubenville protest, which got over 1,000 people to protest this case. Finally, because of the outrage, the case went to trial, and the boys were found guilty. Trent Mays, who's 17, was sentenced to serve at least 2 years in the state juvenile system. The other, Malik Richmond, 16, was sentenced to serve at least 1 year.
That's it. That's it, bro. 2 years?
Although it took thousands of outraged people on the internet to escalate this issue for them to receive justice, many believe that the punishment for these teens was not enough, perpetuating the reality that these types of crimes are not taken as seriously as they should be. And then 1 week after this guilty verdict that people are outraged about, Rick Ross has an extremely popular song that people see as glorifying this same horrible crime. It was a recipe for disaster. Yet despite all the backlash, this didn't even have any long-lasting impact on Rick Ross's career, or even the song. UOENO debuted at number 99 on the Billboard Hot 100 3 weeks after Ross was dropped by Reebok. And by July 20th, it peaked at number 20 on the Hot 100. They even released...
It was a bop, bro. I'm telling you. That shit was a whole vibe. You hear it every corner, every car passing by. It was a bop. Fuck the lyrics, but like, it was playing, bro. I remember that shit. I was in middle school listening to this shit.
A visual to the song a few months later that depicts a woman drinking a drink and begins spiraling before Rick Ross takes her home. And even though Reebok dropped him, he has still managed to secure tons of multi-million-dollar business deals that he reaps the benefits of still to this day. Have you seen this guy's house? He is doing just fine. At the end of the day, Rick Ross does have deniability that what he said was fiction, as it was just a part of a song. Cardi B, on the other hand, does not have that deniability because she admitted to multiple people on an Instagram live. However, the reason she did it is what caused many to shower her with support rather than outrage. On an Instagram live in 2017, rapper Cardi B was discussing the struggles that she went through to survive in the streets of New York City.
Niggas must have forgot, my nigga, the shit that I did to survive. Like, I had to go strip. I had to go, oh yeah, you wanna me? Yeah, let's go to this hotel. And I niggas up and I'll rob them. That's what I used to do.
Just like Rick Ross, Cardi B admits to people, but specifically she said men and robbing them. For more context, Cardi B was a stripper before she was a rapper, and in this instance she was describing situations where men would try to solicit from her in strip clubs, to which she would say yes. Then she would them and rob them. But this Instagram live didn't go viral until 2 years after it was recorded. In March of 2019, it resurfaced via Twitter and sparked outrage online. Hashtag Surviving Cardi B began trending worldwide on Twitter, which was a reference to the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries that detailed all of the horrific crimes committed by the R&B singer. Cardi B quickly tweeted, "I never claimed to be an angel. I always been a street bitch. Y'all be glorifying these street rappers that talk and do the grimy shit, but then they can't stand a street bitch." Then she continued to gloat about how people are trying to cancel her. "I'm that bitch they love to hate. I'm that bitch they hate to love."
Now imagine Rick Ross reacting like this. Imagine Rick Ross tweeted some shit like this, bro. Cooked. Cooked ain't even the word for real. Eviscerated, bro. Donzo. Gone out of here. Career endo. Finito.
When they try to cancel me on Twitter and Instagram, critics felt like she was taunting them, which just added fuel to the fire. Redditors unleashed a firestorm of criticism, including this post on the subreddit Black People Twitter, calling the rapper Cardi B Cosby. The post read, "She better get the Bill Cosby treatment or gender equality doesn't exist. This so stupid she called this hard work." As many of you know, Bill Cosby was accused by 60 women of sexual assault and sexual harassment, and less than a year before Cardi B's post went viral, he was not only rightfully vilified for his disgusting actions, but found guilty and jailed for his crimes. Cardi felt like her words were being twisted and lacked context, so she posted a lengthy response on social media explaining her point of view. There are rappers that glorify murder, violence, drugs, and robbing, crimes they feel they had to do to survive. I never glorified the things I brought up in that live. I never even put those things in my music because I'm not proud of it, and feel a responsibility not to glorify it. I made the choices that I did at the time because I had very limited options. I was blessed to have been able to rise from that, but so many women have not. The men that I spoke about in my live were men that I dated and was involved with, men that were conscious, willing, and aware. After the rapper's response, major media outlets began to clarify and highlight the quotes where she said that she was doing what she had to do to survive. There were no protests, no demanding of a deeper apology, no attacking her sponsors. For Cardi's fans and business partners, they weren't surprised to hear this information since she never hid.
I never saw it slow-mo. Hold on.
Cardi's fans
I remember
and
this
business
moment.
partners, they weren't surprised to hear this information.
Bro, that mic hit hard, boy. Boom.
Since she never hid who she was from the people.
I'm a rapper. That came from the streets. That came to the industry. I wasn't a Disney Channel star. I wasn't a nun. I wasn't a saint. I never was a saint. Okay? Let me tell you something. I'm a good-hearted person, but I have done fucked up shit.
For many women and fans of the rapper, they understood her struggle and were ready to move on. Even Rick Ross told people to leave Cardi alone.
Like I say, leave Cardi B alone. Because we don't need to persecute her for her past. We need to be leaders and lead by example. And regardless of what you did in the past, if you stole a car in the past, that don't mean you shouldn't be able to get money in the future.
Hey man, I mean, he has a point, but the internet loves to dig deep. They always love to find something on you, bro. You could have done something at the age of 5, you're 35 right now, 30 years ago, you did something. People are gonna dig it up and throw it in your motherfucking face and try to get you canceled, bro. Sad but truth, you know?
As long as you change your ways, and we all know Cardi B focused on the money now, and she is a leader.
But it seemed like mostly men who were not fans of Cardi B to begin with were outraged at the lack of further outrage. Change my view. If Cardi B was a man, we would be boycotting her music and her career would be destroyed.
Yes. Yes, I literally said that, bro. 100%. 100%.
Which people countered that most other male rappers have had extremely public controversies that didn't destroy their careers. Chris Brown's long history of assault has not...
Yo. This right here, to this day, is being brought up. Till this day, bro. You know? And like, all right, let's put it this way, right? Let's say Rick Ross did time for what he did for his lyrics, right? Let's just say, right? He did time for his lyrics. He gets out. Then what? People are still gonna hate him. The 2 individuals from Ohio only served 2 fucking years. They're out. People still gonna think about that situation. People still gonna hate them, not support them. You know? But like,
not hindered his career. Dr. Dre has a history of accusations that have not hindered his career. 6ix9ine pleaded guilty to the use of a in a performance, which was well known even during his popularity. And as we detailed before, Rick Ross did lose out on some money, but ultimately it had no long-standing impact on his career. Another post went viral on the subreddit Unpopular Opinion. Cardi B and robbing men makes her a... Now, it actually took months for Cardi B to clarify that she didn't have sex with these men, which was a huge reason why Redditors were so angry. She was alone in rooms with men who thought they were going to have sex with her, since she told them that she would. Then she them into unconsciousness, which is enough evidence for some people to assume that she could have also them, but Cardi denies this.
Have actually sex when you touch somebody without their consent. I never nobody. Let me tell you something. I never ever wanted none of these niggas.
An online comment read, "No one cares about male victims when it comes to these types of situations. They say, well, that's what his horny ass gets for going to a hotel room with a woman he just met."
You know what I say earlier, bro? What I say earlier.
Let it have been a male rapper who was drugging women, though. Sex crimes against men are more common than people think, but there is an assumption that men don't care or that they can't be sexually assaulted because of gender-based stigmas. And at this time, the Me Too movement and the Believe Women movement was at an all-time high. So many people just automatically believed Cardi when she said that she wasn't sexually assaulting anyone, and rather just hustling them for their money. But the outrage calling for her to be canceled continued throughout the years, until someone found another old video of her where she explains a hypothetical situation where she describes setting up a assault.
I'm gonna take him out, we're gonna get drunk, I'm gonna get him all up and everything, we're gonna have a good time, get him super twisted, then bring a bitch around, we're gonna have a threesome, and when he wake up, he gonna be like, what the f? Yeah, because the bitch was a I'm be like, yup, we had a threesome with the yup, but you don't gotta fuck another nigga to get even. There's other ways to get even.
This is a case of, I didn't do it, but if I did do it, this is how I would do it. The descriptiveness of the situation is hard to interpret as just a joke. This was enough evidence for detractors to confirm that she was a predator. So when they saw this tweet in 2023, they felt like she had no right to speak on the matter. This world is full of predators. They prey on the innocent, the ones who are most unknowing, our children. Predators could be our neighbors, our school teachers, even people with money, power, and our churches. Constantly talk with your kids about boundaries and what they shouldn't allow people to do to them. And with the entire internet calling her a hypocrite, she dug a deeper hole as she spoke about the situation yet again.
And now people want to come at me like, oh, you're the wrong messenger, you're the wrong messenger, then you robbing. And it's like, listen. Y'all not going to keep doing this, because when it comes to weird ass predators and pedophiles, I'm really like, I don't play that shit. I really don't play that shit. And then y'all be like, you drug and rob them. Did I touch their body? Did I touch their penis? Did I touch their ass? Did I touch them? Did I put my lips on them? No. No type of touching. Don't confuse. And even if y'all claim, oh, you robbed them, what's robbing and raping is two different type of shit. So don't call me no. Don't call me no predator. Don't play with my name like that, because I don't play that.
Cardi stays firm in her stance that she was never sexual with these men, but she does wholeheartedly admit that these men deserve to be robbed. However, there is a third opinion that the vast majority of people hold for Cardi B. Cardi B came in the game during the Vine era, promoting herself as a gang-affiliated stripper. Her off-the-wall persona made her who she is. You can't ask what can she say or do that would get her canceled, because she's been talking and acting crazy from the jump. LOL at bringing up her drugging and robbing men. Yeah, well, she told us from the jump she was a blood. What do you think bloods do? Sell Girl Scout cookies? No, they commit crimes. Most people love to point out the double standards and hypocrisy. They simplify the situation as man do bad thing, get big trouble, and girl do same bad thing, no consequences. But the truth is, there is tons of nuance to consider when assessing any type of crime, social issue, drama, or whatever you want to call this. No two situations are ever the same. The only similarities here are Rick Ross and Cardi B are both rappers who admitted to drugging someone. The context, the intent, the time frame, the clarity of the words, the behavior before and after the admission are all entirely different, but extremely necessary to assess before you make a decision on what you think about these rappers. Now, I'm not saying they should be absolved of criticism, but if you're expecting rappers to be beacons of moral good, you're gonna be angry forever.
Deadass. Okay, bro. Unfortunate, like I said, that if it was a woman, they wouldn't get backlash, but if it's a guy, it's the end of the world, you know? Same crime. Same fucking crime. There's consequences to these crimes. Why the fuck does it matter if it was a guy or a girl doing it? You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro. Y'all let me know how you feel about all of this. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, there's a million different opinions on everything. So go home and enjoy that. She didn't even know that bar is just so out of pocket. Who cleared that? I also like the fact that phony apologies that are essentially forced, whether by their PR teams or whatever, actually hold weight with some people. They're not sorry. The fact people support Cardi and Chris Brown blows my mind. I'm still shocked that nobody checked Rick Ross in the studio when he was recording that verse. Bro, there's also a saying, right? Separate the artist from their music. I know it's easier said than done. It's kind of hard to do that. But like, again, people can lie, bro. I can sit here, drop a song filled with lies, saying that I do this and this, that, and the third. And of course, I'm going to get backlash because it's all, what the fuck? What are you saying, bro? But it's all lies, you know? I don't know. Sometimes, I'm not saying in this situation, but sometimes different situations, it's, you should separate the person from the situation, or the music. I should say the music. This is crazy, bro. This is just two people. This is just two people of many saying crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me know what you guys thought. That's my reaction. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe if you haven't. And I'm out.